right, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, on Saturday said he was optimistic that the state of emergency declared in Rivers State will expire on September 18th. He disclosed this after casting his vote in the ongoing local government election in the state. Wike noted that the expiration would pave way for the State House of Assembly to resume its legislative duties. As far as we are concerned, this election is peaceful. People are trooping out, and at the end of the day, the election has been conducted successfully. These are many more are words of Wike. Let's now watch the proceedings of Wike's casting his vote in his local polling unit in Rivers State. I'll be right back.
Just shift your just
It was the tape. Yes, it was me, sir.
How you are doing among the funds? I'm watching you.
I will go back and
I will require you now.
I will go back and correct you. All right, sir. No problem. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. So, there's quite a large turnout at your ward today. Today is the much anticipated local government election. How do you feel about this?
Well, first of all, I must have to thank God Almighty that today, 30th of August, is scheduled for the local government elections in the last state. And again, I want to thank RISEC for carrying out a very successful conduct of local government election. Let me make it clear that this is a local government election. And I expect particularly the media to have done their homework very well in knowing where there are residential areas, in knowing where there are commercial areas. When you go to commercial areas, you don't expect much a large turnout of people. But when you go to high residential areas, of course, you expect people to turn up. Particularly as I'm here now, this is my community. I can see the turnout of people in this particular unit. So also it is in other units. But if you go to where you have commercial areas, to speak, you don't expect much people. Go to the rural area because it's local government area. More participation is taken in the rural area because of councillorship position. And some most people are also not indigenous or university. They feel that look, they are doing these things for not having a truth represented by having their own people contesting the election. So I'm very happy with the turnouts of people. I've got a lot of reports from the rural areas that people came out very well to participate in this election. So I'm very happy.
All right. So there are concerns whether this time around it has been gotten right, because from my interaction with Rivers people, they are concerned that the last time there was an election, it was cancelled eventually. What is your hope? What's that hope you have that would happen after here?
There was no election anymore. Supreme Court said there was no election. They nullified the election. I said there was no election. There was no election. Today we are holding election, and that's why you see people have come back to also cast their votes. If you do something that is not done to law, of course it will be set aside, and it was set aside. And now that the process is very clear and goes according to the law, nobody's worried. What people are doing is just to come out and cast their vote for whoever they want them to represent them at the local government level.
All right, Your Excellency, the local government election, of course, would ultimately restore democratic governance, at the local level. And of course, tell us what this will mean for Rivers people. Of course, the state of emergency would lapse by September. So what does this mean for Rivers people?
And that is why we have to thank Mr. President for taking the bold step to make sure that this election is conducted. First of all, if election is not conducted, you know that Supreme Court has said there's nothing like caretaker committees in local government, and if there are no elected people, it means that funds will not come from the federation account to local government councils. And that means that if the emergency rule is lifted and there's no local government election, we'll still have the same problem. And now that local government election is taking place, it means that the elected people, and then they will get funds directly from the federation account. So everybody was trying out to support the conduct of this particular election in order to stabilize the grassroots level. By the time the state of emergency is lifted on the 18th of September, it means that the governor and the state assembly will come back. So without local government, it will not have been complete. So we are very glad that today we are conducting this election, and by the end of the day, elected people will emerge and they will be sworn in, and then we know that we have elected representatives at the grassroots level.
Recall that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had earlier imposed emergency rule in Rivers State to prevent a political crisis, suspending Governor Simlaye Fubara, his deputy, and the State House of Assembly for 6 months. According to Wike, he said, "I do know that by September 18, the state of emergency will expire and the State Assembly will come back to their job and we will have a government at the grassroots level," Wike said. The minister also said that the conditions were right for lifting the state of emergency since both state and local governments now had representation. He added that the coast is now clear for the state of emergency to be lifted, being that the state government has its representatives and the local government has its representative, so we are now good to go. These are the words of the FCT Minister, Nyesin Wike. All right, you share your thoughts with us on the comment sections. Let us know what you think about Wike's reactions. Thank you.